So that's awful nice. Alright, we're just going to avoid this Mr. Slime Man here. We're going to avoid this gentleman. I don't mean to be pushing that. I also didn't mean to run into that guy. But it's fine. We'll just have Maribel defend. Ooh, nice critical. That's basically free experience is what that fight was. So one of the interesting things about the staircases in there is, I don't know if you noticed that, but I actually touched the back of it, and I kind of had this where I ran around the corners of it and then up the stairs. The best way to describe the staircases in this game is that they're safe, like they're home base in like an old school kind of game of tag. If you touch them, you're safe, and as long as you're touching them, monsters can't actually interact with you. But I touched the back of it, and I didn't actually tell it to I was hoping to get around that guy. Didn't actually tell it to keep going. Like, touching it, the back of it is enough. Like it. I don't think I've seen a single one of those licks actually connect. Alright, so we're just gonna go around here. Hopefully you can kind of see what I was talking about, where it's actually very difficult to dodge enemies. One other thing you might notice is that I actually am not... I can only select groups of enemies. This game doesn't let you select individual enemies. But it's really not a problem most of the time, because the game is actually pretty... Most of the time, the game is pretty good about like spreading out your attacks. So, for example, it'll have, in this setup, it'll have Keifer and Maribel basically attack the same one, while Auster attacks his own because he can one-shot them, and they need to double up. But we're almost done from in here. We're just going to finish this lips off. And I'm not worried about my HP being so low, because the enemies in here don't hit for that much. If Maribel had eaten another hit, I probably would have given her an herb. But we're almost out of here, and I'm pretty confident I'm not going to run into any battles on the world map. I say that, and somebody's going to die. I've said it, and now it's going to happen. Alright, we're just going to run around that guy. That's a caterpillar. We're going to run past that guy. And the exit's right over here. And now I need to turn the world map to be kind of behind me. There we go. Pretty much I only ever get into random encounters on the world map if a monster spawns immediately in front of me or in a very narrow spot. So, okay. We've already talked to you, I think, yeah. They moved you from in the middle of the village over to this side. So now we have to sit through the story again because I forgot. Alright, that's fine. We're going to go over here and we're going to give this magical healing rock to this young Patrick man. Did we bust this already? Alright. My duty has been fulfilled. Yep. Ooh, maybe there is something to that magic rock nonsense. I don't know, we didn't get back without a scratch. Maribel only has 6 hit points left. Yep, we'll have a good night's kip. I always think it's really nice when you have situations like this where you have characters who are actually sleeping underneath covers, because I've read that that's actually very difficult to do, and that's why it's actually sort of rare, especially in games of like the last few generations, because like the processing power required to do uh the folds and then the creases and all that. And obviously this is pretty static right here, so they could do it, but I do appreciate the touch. Maribel showing her soft side. I like the word slow coach. Like to describe not going fast enough. That's actually something my grandmother used to say. My great-grandmother used to say when she was still alive. She'd call slow people slow coaches. But of course, what we're seeing here is the memories from the doll, I guess? I don't know. The main character of this game is actually, like, vaguely mystical. Okay, so that right there's nobody up here. But now we have all of our HP and MP, so Auster has the heal spell, and he has... Do they not list his... Oh, yeah, he has 12 MP, and she has 15 MP, and has access to the Frizz, and at level 4 she learns Sap. Sap is one of the best spells in the entire game by a very large margin. Like, assuming that if you're fighting a boss... and the boss can be sapped, it is one of the most broken spells in the game. With that caveat, not every boss in the game can be sapped. It's almost like they understand that the game is broken, like the ability to delete an enemy's defense. Yep, that wasn't too bad. There's really only bugs and slimes and anteaters for some reason down there. Giant ambulatory eggplants that like to dance. Well, we're lost. Pretty lost indeed. That's a pretty straightforward plan there. Let's go beat up the monsters and see if you can get home. I'm behind that plan. That's a good plan. Simple plans are the best kinds of plans. Fewer things to go wrong. In practice, they're the best plans. But look, in fiction, I don't like... My favorite thing is always to watch like these... My favorite like genre movie are heist movies, because you have all these moving parts. But like I like the heist movie from the sense that everything is believable and you see them put all the moving parts in action, and then at the end you get the payoff of all the stuff coming together. Like if you watch something like Ocean's 11, for example, that I think is actually not a very good heist movie, because there are scenes in that movie where even the director's like, well, I don't know how they did that. For example, the whole thing with the vault and then the slips of paper and all that. They, like, even the director doesn't know how they did that, you know? It's not something that was important to the story, you know? So they didn't even do it. It was like, well, you know. But to me, that makes a bad heist movie. Anyway, we want to go over to the monster lairs. Band of fine fighters. So we're just gonna run past these guys. And there's that tower there. And over here, tucked away, there is some money. I actually forgot to do something, so we're gonna run back to town. I herped the derp. I actually really want to do this, because it's going to make the upcoming stuff much easier. So one of the things that I thought about a lot when I was preparing this game was budgeting. And you really have to kind of weigh attack power, yes. We want to buy an oaken club. And I'm buying the oaken club instead of the another copper sword, because the attack power difference between the two of them is pretty slim. So if you look here, the Oaken Club, Keifer's natural attack power makes the Oaken Club, I think, a better buy, because so I'd have to spend 110 extra gold pieces to get 3 more attack points for Keifer. But I think the copper sword for Auster is a better buy, because obviously he's got less attack power. And that basically puts me with 2 people round about the same attack power, and I should be able to nearly one-shot every monster that we're going to fight. Or come pretty close. Close enough for government work. But I definitely wanted to get him a weapon upgrade. Before we went into this dungeon. Oh, that's not good. I actually could have run over here beforehand even and gotten the money and then bought it for the dungeon down in the mines. But I don't think it's particularly necessary, because the monsters down there, even in here, the monsters are pretty basic. With the exception of this guy right here. So this is the Meowgician. They can cast Frizz. when Hanlon is not being a total bro and just one-shotting them. So Hanlon, most of the time, will actually just waste his turns. He'll kind of like keep an eye on the situation or whatever, however they word it. But he also can... Okay, that's good. That's what I want right there. Actually, let's give this over to Maribel. And put this in the bag. Alright. He'll waste his turns mostly, but he'll also... the other things that he can do is he can attack. He can get a critical hit, so he'll attack for like 25 points of damage. He'll crit for like 150, and he'll also heal your party. He'll cast the heal spell, which will restore about 30 hit points. But here we have the first real boss of the game. This is the Golem. And this guy right here is not particularly interesting. So we just want to defend. If you get lucky, what'll happen is Hanlon will attack the boss and just wreck him. This guy has 280 hit points. You can use sap if you want, but I prefer to save Maribel's MP. I'm having her defend. Nice critical hit. Let's have a heal on Keifer and then just defend. If you get lucky, Hanlon will actually do that. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see. That basically just sped up the boss battle by 50%. You have a pretty good chance of him doing that. So it's worth, I think, playing conservatively to give him the chance to actually like save you some trouble. Which is what I was doing with Maribel. Like, I was saving her MP so that we can kind of go out with the in a future battle. All right, so this is the other new enemy in here, the Cacti Ball. Cacti Balls are pretty vanilla. They can't do anything, I don't think. They can, yeah, they just attack and run away. That's all they can do. Just attack and run away. Tung Fu Fighters, we've already shown. And let's see, we want to go just down the stairs. Yeah, these Magicians are actually the most dangerous enemy in here, just because Frizz hurts so much. So you want to keep your hit points above... I probably should heal, actually heal Maribel. You want to keep your hit points above 20. Chest. Get a bronze knife and a red fragment. Alright, we want to go to the east first. Let's see. We want to give this to Maribel because she's the only one who can use it, unfortunately. But it does give her a very nice attack power boost. So now she should be able to Miss considerably less. The FPS on this is acting up a lot this evening. So